I thought I had plenty of time. I was completely relaxed. I even stopped to buy a coffee, but I ended up missing my flight and everything went wrong.
Wait, how did that even happen? You're usually so organized.
That's what I thought too. But this day, this one day, absolutely nothing went to plan.
Okay, we need to hear this whole story. And trust me, by the end of it, you're going to want to check your flight time right now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday English. I'm Michael.
And I'm Sarah, and today we have something a little different for you.
Today, Sarah is going to tell us a real story. A very dramatic, very stressful, very real travel story. And as she tells it, we're going to help you practice your English listening skills.
You'll hear natural conversation, real emotions, everyday phrases, the kind of English you actually need to understand in real life.
So get comfortable, because this story is a good one. Sarah, take it away.
Okay, so this happened about 2 years ago. I was flying from London to Barcelona, and this trip was important to me. Not for work, this was personal. My best friend was getting married. Her wedding was the next day.
Oh, wow. So this wasn't just any trip.
No, this was the trip. I had been planning it for months. I had my dress, my shoes, my gift. Everything was ready. I was so excited. I had not seen my friend in almost a year.
So you were in a great mood.
I was in a fantastic mood. I woke up that morning feeling amazing. The sun was out. I had a big breakfast. I was singing in the shower.
Classic. Famous last words.
Exactly. I remember thinking, this is going to be a perfect day.
Now, for our listeners, let's pause for a second. Did you catch the phrase that was just used? Famous last words. We use that in English when someone says something too confident and then something goes wrong. Like, I'll never be late. Famous last words.
Perfect example, Michael, because what happened next was not perfect at all.
Okay, so you're happy, you're excited. What time was your flight?
My flight was at 2:15 in the afternoon.
And what time did you need to be at the airport?
They recommend arriving 2 hours before an international flight, so I needed to be there by 12:15. And I live about 45 minutes from the airport, so I planned to leave my house at 11:30.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
It does, doesn't it? It sounds completely fine. And that's the problem. I thought I had it all figured out. So I packed my bag the night before, which I was very proud of, by the way.
As you should be.
I had my passport, my boarding pass on my phone, my charger, everything. I was organized, I was ready.
So what happened in the morning?
Well, I woke up, I had breakfast, I got dressed, and I thought, I still have some time. My friend had sent me a message asking if I could bring some chocolate-covered macadamia nuts to London, as a little gift for her family.
Oh, that's sweet.
It is sweet, so I thought, I have time, I'll quickly go to the shop around the corner. It'll take 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Famous last words, right?
There it is again.
The shop was busy. There was a queue, a line, and the woman in front of me was paying with coins, exact change for everything.
No.
Yes, so 5 minutes became 15 minutes. I got back to my house, I grabbed my bag, and I called a taxi. And here's the thing, I should have called the taxi earlier, but I thought, it's fine, taxis are everywhere.
And were they?
Not at that moment, no. The app kept saying no drivers available. I tried 3 times. Finally, one accepted. The driver was about 8 minutes away.
Okay, but you still had time, right? It was still early?
I checked my watch. It was 11:52. I thought, okay, it's a little tight, but I can still make it. The taxi will arrive by noon. I'll be at the airport by 12:45. I still have 30 minutes to spare.
Right. And I bet a lot of our listeners have done this. You keep doing the math in your head, trying to convince yourself everything will work out.
You absolutely do. And deep down, somewhere, there's a small voice saying something is not right, but you ignore it.
And then?
And then the taxi arrived, and I got in, and we started driving, and for about 5 minutes, everything was fine.
Only 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes. And then we hit traffic.
Oh no.
There had been an accident on the main road to the airport. Not a bad accident, nobody was hurt, but it had happened maybe 20 minutes before, and now everything was stopped.
Completely stopped?
Completely stopped. We weren't moving at all. I'm sitting in the back of the taxi, watching the minutes go by, and I can feel my heart starting to beat faster.
That's already stressful just listening to it.
The driver was very kind. He said, "Don't worry, it will move soon." But it didn't move. 10 minutes passed, 15 minutes. I started checking Google Maps every 30 seconds.
Which doesn't help, but you do it anyway.
You absolutely do it anyway. Google Maps was telling me estimated arrival 108, and then 114, and then 122.
The number keeps going up.
The number keeps going up, and my flight is at 2:15. I need to check in, go through security. At any airport, security can take 30, 40 minutes or more if there's a long queue.
Let's explain two useful words you just used for our listeners: queue and check-in. A queue, spelled Q-U-E-U-E, is a British English word for a line of people waiting. And to check in at an airport means to go to the desk, show your ticket, give them your luggage, and get your boarding pass confirmed.
Right, both of which take time. Time I was running out of.
So what did you do? Just sit there?
I was trying to stay calm. I was doing that thing where you breathe slowly and tell yourself, it's okay, it's okay. But inside, I was absolutely panicking.
Did the driver try another route?
He did. He turned off the main road and tried a back route. And for a moment, just a moment, I thought, yes, this is going to work. We were moving.
But
everyone else on the main road had the same idea. The back roads were also jammed.
Of course they were.
I finally got to the airport at 1:31.
Okay, 1:31, flight at 2:15. That's 44 minutes. Is that enough time?
Normally, possibly, but I still needed to check my bag. I had a suitcase, go through passport control, go through security, find my gate, and at a big international airport, your gate can be a 15-minute walk from security.
so the moment you get out of the taxi, you're already in trouble.
I knew the moment I got out of that taxi that I was in trouble. That's when things started to go really wrong. I ran inside the terminal, and I mean, I ran. I had my suitcase, my carry-on bag, and I was running through the airport like I was in an action film.
Like you were in a chase scene.
Exactly. And I get to the check-in desk, and the woman looks at me, looks at her computer, and says very calmly, very politely, "I'm sorry, check-in for this flight is now closed."
Already?
Check-in closes 1 hour before departure. My flight was at 2:15. Check-in closed at 1:15. I arrived at 1:31.
16 minutes. You missed it by 16 minutes.
16 minutes? I stood there and I couldn't believe it. I said, please, is there anything you can do? My best friend is getting married tomorrow. I have to be there.
And what does she say?
She was very sympathetic, which means she felt sorry for me, but she said there was nothing she could do. Once the system closes, it closes. She told me to go to the customer service desk.
So you didn't even try to run to the gate?
I thought about it. For about 3 seconds, I genuinely considered just running through the whole airport and hoping. But without checking in, I didn't have a confirmed boarding pass, and I wouldn't get through security.
So it was really over.
It was really over. I stood in that airport with my suitcase, my dress inside it, my gift for my best friend, and I didn't know what to do. I think I just stared at the check-in desk for about 30 seconds.
That feeling of shock? That frozen moment?
Yes, and then, I'm not ashamed to say this, I started to cry. Right there in the airport. People walking past me with their suitcases, going to their flights, and I'm just standing there crying.
That's such a horrible feeling.
It's awful because it wasn't just about the flight, it was about my friend. I kept thinking, she's getting married tomorrow. I promised her I would be there. And now what? I'm just not there?
And then it got even worse, didn't it?
And then it got even worse.
Tell us.
I called my friend to tell her, and she answered on the second ring completely excited, saying, "Sarah, have you landed yet?" And I just had to say, I missed the flight.
Oh, Sarah.
There was silence, just silence. And then she said, very quietly, "What?"
I can feel that silence.
It was one of the worst phone calls I have ever had to make.
Okay, so what happened next? What do you actually do when you miss a flight?
So if this ever happens to you, here is what you do. First, don't panic. I know that sounds impossible, but panicking doesn't help.
Easier said than done.
Much easier said than done, but here's what you actually need to do. Go immediately to the customer service desk for your airline. Explain the situation. Ask about the next available flight.
And what did they tell you?
The woman at the desk was wonderful, actually. Very calm, she looked up the next flight to Barcelona. There was one more that day, at 6:45 in the evening.
Oh, so you could still make it for the wedding?
The wedding was the next day at 2 p.m. So if I got to Barcelona that evening, I would miss the rehearsal dinner, which made me feel terrible, but I would be there for the wedding. It was a relief.
That's a relief.
Yes, but here's the next problem. The ticket for the 6:45 flight was not free. Because I had missed my original flight, and technically it was my fault, the airline was not legally required to rebook me for free.
How much was it?
Over $300.
Ouch.
Ouch is right, but I didn't have a choice. I paid it, I booked the seat, and then I had 5 hours to wait in the airport.
5 hours at the airport.
5 hours. With my suitcase, having missed my flight, having already paid once for a ticket, sitting in a cafe eating an overpriced sandwich, feeling sorry for myself.
But you made it to the wedding?
I made it. I landed in Barcelona at 10 p.m., got to the hotel by 12 a.m., hugged my friend, who was very forgiving, by the way.
Good friend.
And the next day, I was there, in my dress, watching her get married. And it was beautiful.
So it had a happy ending.
It had a happy ending, but I will never, ever cut it that close at an airport again.
What did you learn from all of this?
I learned that when you think you have enough time, you don't. Always add more time than you think you need. Leave earlier than you think you should, because life happens, traffic happens, queues happen, taxis don't show up.
And don't stop to buy chocolates.
And do not stop to buy chocolates.
Okay, let's take a moment now and look at some of the key phrases from today's story. These are phrases you will hear all the time in real English conversation, especially when people are talking about travel, stress, or things going wrong.
Let's go through them together.
I missed my flight.
This simply means you did not get on your plane. You arrived too late. I missed my flight. You can also say, I missed the bus, I missed the train, I missed my connection.
A connection, by the way, is when you have to change planes in another city. If you miss your first flight, you might also miss your connection.
I was stuck in traffic and I missed my flight.
I was in a hurry.
To be in a hurry means to be rushed, to need to do something quickly because you don't have much time. I was in a hurry. Or, I'm in a hurry right now. Can we talk later?
You can also say, I was rushing, or I was running late. These all mean the same thing.
I was in such a hurry that I forgot my passport.
That's another terrible travel story right there.
I panicked.
To panic means to feel sudden, strong fear or anxiety, so much that you can't think clearly. I panicked, or don't panic, or I started to panic when I saw the time.
Panic is also a noun. I was in a complete panic. You'll hear this in lots of situations, not just travel.
When I saw the traffic, I panicked and couldn't decide what to do.
It was too late.
This means the moment to act has already passed. You cannot change what happened. It was too late. Or, by the time I arrived, it was already too late.
By the time is a really useful connector in English. It means at the moment when something happened, something else had already happened. By the time I got to the gate, the door was closed.
I ran through the airport, but it was too late. The flight had already left.
Everything went wrong.
This is a great everyday expression. When one thing after another goes badly, you say, everything went wrong, or nothing went right, or it was one thing after another.
You can also say everything that could go wrong did go wrong. There's actually a famous saying in English called Murphy's Law. It says, anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
That was basically my travel day.
That was basically Sarah's entire travel day. The traffic was terrible. I lost my phone and I missed my flight. Everything went wrong.
Let's quickly review all 5 phrases together.
I missed my flight.
I was in a hurry.
I panicked.
It was too late.
Everything went wrong.
Try using one of these in a sentence today. Practice them in your head, say them out loud. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel.
That story was incredible. Stressful, dramatic, emotional. I felt like I was right there with you.
It was honestly one of the worst travel days of my life. But looking back, it makes a great story.
It absolutely does. And I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling. When everything is fine, and then suddenly, it's not.
Travel has a way of doing that. No matter how organized you are, something unexpected can always happen.
Which brings us to you, our listeners. We want to know, have you ever had a travel problem like this? Have you ever missed a flight, been stuck in traffic, lost your luggage, arrived at the wrong airport?
Yes, there are actually people who go to the wrong airport. It happens more than you think.
Tell us your story. Comments below. We love hearing your experiences. In English, of course.
Practicing your English by writing is a great way to learn. Don't worry about making mistakes. That's how you improve.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review on your favorite podcast app. It really helps us reach more English learners around the world.
And if you're new here, welcome. We release episodes like this every week. Real stories, real conversations, real English.
Follow us so you don't miss the next one.
And until then, keep learning, keep going.
And maybe leave a little extra time before your next flight. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.